Hi, I'm David Ezekiel, Transitional Minister for the First Federated Church of Peoria. Welcome to our midweek moment. It was 10 years ago this week that singer Amy Winehouse was found dead in her London home from alcohol poisoning. She was only 27. The winner of 5 Grammy Awards for her jazz-infused and Motown-influenced style, her life was marked by success as a chanteuse and songwriter when she was hardly out of her teens. Her sultry voice was well suited to profane songs on love, loss, addiction that echoed her tumultuous personal life, pocked by struggles with drugs and alcohol. Poor health and erratic personal habits caused her to cancel performances. Several times she walked off stage in the middle of songs and even collapsed during performances. One of her songs, Rehab, showed her smoky voice and rebellious attitude, saying, "They tried to make me go to rehab. I said, no, no, no. Yes, I've been black, but when I come back, you'll know. I ain't got the time, and if my daddy thinks I'm fine, he's tried to make me go to rehab. I won't go. The song is emblematic of many of her works, which focused on drugs, broken relationships, and drinking. And through the years, the paparazzi made her struggles public as she checked into treatment facilities and was enabled in her self-destructive habits by her codependent husband. When you consider that the life of such a gifted person who was so clearly hurting, you have to wonder just exactly what would Jesus say to her in person. You know, when I ask that question, I think of the gospel stories like in John chapter 4, when Jesus speaks with a despised woman who's been married 5 times and is now living with a man who is not her husband. Jesus treats her as worthy of his attention, speaking truth without condescending, revealing himself as the source of life. I think of the story from John chapter 8 when Jesus defends another woman who's caught in the act of adultery. He tells her, "Neither do I condemn you. Go and sin no more." With these words, he speaks truth into her brokenness, offering forgiveness and unconditional love, along with a directive that would set her free. I think of the story from Mark chapter 5 and the healing of the Gerasene demoniac. In this story, Jesus meets a man who lives among the uncleanness of the tombs, who lives in the cemetery. He's crying out and cutting himself, too frenzied to be held by chains. The man violently opposes him, yet the Savior's grace applies even to this adversary. The power of Jesus' grace is more than adequate to the challenge of brute spiritual force. So what would Jesus say and do in Amy Winehouse's life? His word and his work always go together. He speaks a word of healing and grace, and his actions bring about what he commands. Jesus would reach out to her, taking the initiative to show his love. He would not condone her hurtful behavior, yet neither would he condemn. More than simply empathizing with her, he would speak and act redemptively and powerfully in order to save. He came to spend time with people like Amy, and with all the damaged, the down and out, the up and out, the powerful, the poor, and the brokenhearted. So maybe we ought to be contemplating what this question would be for us. What would we say and what would we do? What would Jesus have us do to speak his word and to show his love, to demonstrate his reign in the lives of people like Amy before it is too late? Therefore, what can you do today? Now that's something to think about. I'm David Ezekiel. Thank you for sharing this midweek moment with me.